Hey, what's up? I'm Samm Henshaw. I am here in LA with my friends from Guitar Center. I have been fortunate enough to be invited to come and try out the Fender Player II Jaguar. I am a singer-songwriter from London. I am a multi-instrumentalist. I put out an album in 2022 called Untidy Soul. Currently in LA, I'm about to work on my next album. Fender was the only type of guitar that I associated with like being a guitar player. Jimi Hendrix was sort of the first person I saw that held that guitar, and for me from that point on it was just like, that's what a guitarist plays. With the Jaguar, it was actually the very first guitar I bought. I think I was about 18 or 19 and saw it and I was like, this is a really unique shape. It's very unusual and it's unlike anything I've seen. It was kind of similar to this. It was a sunburst. I just thought it was really cool. Today, I have requested a Fender 65 Deluxe. This has kind of been the amp that has always been in my life in some shape or form. There is obviously something just really classic about it and the sound that like it produces. I've become quite new with pedals. My basic sound has always kind of been, I want a bit of reverb, I want a bit of chorus in there, distortion, depending on what the sound is of the joint, maybe some like flange. Again, it was familiarity, choosing stuff that I personally like hearing, just being able to play around with those and have that here is always makes it a fun time. When I am in a studio, if I'm like recording or writing or anything, I love pairing the sound of a whirly electric piano with the Jag. I think it's just such a nice blend of sounds. Yeah, it's just special. We're going to talk about the neck pickup, really warm, which I think is super important, specifically for me as like a songwriter. And if I'm specifically writing on guitar, I just want to feel like the tone of what I'm creating sets up the essence of what the whole song's going to be. As I've been playing this, you kind of just go into this little place and you're like, oh wow, yeah, this feels right. When it comes to coming up with chord progressions, it plays a big part in leading the direction of where I'm sort of going. I love the sort of like soulful funk type stuff. I think you also think about the reference points of other artists and based off of using like a similar guitar, and you think of people like the Isley Brothers, and that's kind of, I guess, what was kind of going through my head. As I'd said before, it's very warm, and Fender's always done that really well. The moment you pick up the guitar, the very natural sound that comes out of it as soon as you've like plugged it into an amp is just this really warm. You feel a bit more adventurous with the short scale on it, and I think that it allows you to see what can come out of you. Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna play something else now so you can hear the guitar a bit more. I'm gonna add a few effects to it. I think for now, I'm just gonna put on some reverb. I'm gonna add some tremolo to this as well, because, you know, why not? My way of unconsciously testing if a guitar feels right. My reference point is my own guitars and how comfortable I feel with playing those. And I think that the roll edges on this have just feel great. It allows me to just slide and move my hand the way I would on my own guitar. And yeah, it feels perfect. It feels amazing. Now we're gonna try the bridge pickup. There is something about that sound that's a bit more twangy and lighter. It makes you want to play it a bit more rhythmical. There's something about it as well that like really reminds me of sort of country. I think it's cool. I think it's, again, it's got something warm about it. You can really feel where it might sit genre-wise. You can tell that the pickups sound quite different. I think with the Jag, it feels more sort of like funk, soul stuff. I think for me, if I was going to pick it up, it would be for something like that. If I had something like that in mind for whatever it was I was trying to play. On the new record, the recent record I've been working on, we had a song that had this sort of country-esque like folk vibe, and we felt to immediately just pick the Jag up. It just landed really well, and we were like, yeah, all in a day's work. I'm gonna use a bridge pickup. I think we will put on the tremolo. I think we will put on the reverb. I think we will also put on some reverb. Let's see how this sounds. Yeah, that was beautiful. It was very atmospheric. It's got a much lighter feeling than the neck pickup. It still weirdly feels like it fills the space. There's just something really beautiful about it. But yeah, it's such a light sound, but yeah, still holds a lot of weight. Now we are going to talk about both the pickups together. The two of those combined is great. It's such a great blend of the warmth of the neck and the lightness of the bridge. I think that's definitely my favorite of the three. It's just a beautiful sound. I'm surprised I didn't actually try and play with that before, but I'm glad that we all got to witness me do it. I'm gonna play some more. I think I'm just gonna turn on, maybe we might chuck some overdrive in there. I love that sound. I love that sort of tone. Reminds me of yacht rock, and I dig it. I'm very fortunate to be able to play more than one instrument. Sometimes you don't know what a song might need sonically, or you don't know where to start. I pick up guitar if I know that like the guitar is going to lead where the song is ultimately going to go. Normally I'll go to keys for a lot of stuff. For me, if I pick up a guitar, it's a very specific thing, and I know what world I'm gonna sort of ultimately end up in. My foundation is always the chord progression and, you know, random stuff like, is it gonna be a finger picking song, or is it just gonna be like strum straight through? All those little details make a massive difference to whatever the song ends up becoming. My relationship with the guitar is always based off of where I'm at or how I feel at the time. With my first two projects that I made, they were heavily guitar-led. When I made my album, Untidy Soul, I was very intentional about staying away from the guitar. Firstly, I wasn't really listening to as much stuff that had guitar on it, but I also just wanted to like try something different. So if you listen to the record, there's actually like guitar was sort of the last thing that we chose to put on stuff. We stayed as far away from it as we could. And this record, I'm just like, screw all of that. I'm about to put guitar on the whole thing. This is a great guitar. She's very cute, as you can see. I keep looking at her because, you know, gorgeous, can't take my eyes off her. For me, this is definitely something that I would write with. This is something I would like use in the studio. I'm very in awe of like the sound and the feeling of this guitar. And yeah, I'm grateful that you guys let me come and play her today. If you want to learn more about the Fender Player II Jaguar, go to guitarcenter.com, contact one of their expert gear advisors, or check it out yourself at your local GC.